They said Elijah Blackwell had disappeared forever. No trace, no note, only a whisper in the wind. That is, until one night when a shadow knocked on his window and changed everything. What he found in that darkness would test his faith, his courage, and ultimately lead him to a freedom he never knew existed. Elijah Blackwell wasn't a famous man. He lived in Barrington, a quiet suburb in the UK. He was just an ordinary person who had lost almost everything: his job, his partner, his faith. Every morning he woke to a profound emptiness, and every night his prayers felt like echoes in a tomb. The world had moved on, but Elijah was stuck, drowning in a sea of silent despair. Then, one evening, a peculiarly dressed envelope was slid under his door. There was no name, no sender. He opened it cautiously. Inside, a single page held just 2 lines. "To find forgiveness, you must first meet the one you fear," he scoffed. What a cruel, stupid joke. Who on earth would fear him? A man with nothing left to lose? Yet despite his dismissal, something stirred in his chest. Was it fear? Curiosity? Or was it hope? He checked his windows, his mirrors. Nothing. Just his own tired reflection. The next day, with the strange note tucked in his pocket, he found himself walking in the old woods near Barrington. Locals said the overgrown path was haunted by memories of war, but Elijah just needed to walk, to think. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, he sensed a shadow following him. It was subtle at first, just a shape in the distance. He stopped. No one there. But then he heard a voice, a whisper carried on the wind. "Do you remember the night you failed?" Elijah froze. The voice was unnervingly familiar, like his own but deeper, colder. He spun around but saw no one. The ground was muddy, moonlight filtering through the skeletal branches. The woods were deathly silent, save for the sound of his own ragged breath. Then the shadow resolved itself. It looked like the silhouette of a mantle, ragged and terrifyingly still. Elijah's heart hammered against his ribs. The shadow spoke again, its voice cutting through the silence. "You abandoned your mother when she cried. You hid your guilt when your business folded. You blamed God when your child needed you most." Every word was a punch to the gut, a truth he had buried deep inside. He wanted to run, to scream, but his feet were rooted to the spot. And in that terrifying moment, he realized the truth. This shadow wasn't some external monster. It was him. It was the cumulative weight of all his regret, his fear, his shame, given form. The shadow leaned in, its voice a low growl. "Tear me apart," it said. "Expose every lie you told yourself. Only then will I yield." For hours, Elijah stayed in those woods, wrestling not with a physical being, but with his own memories. He saw his mother's tears, remembered the promises he'd broken, felt the burn of his anger at a God he felt had abandoned him. It was an excruciating battle. He fell to his knees on the damp earth, finally begging for forgiveness, not from others this time, but from himself. He spoke his truths aloud, letting the guilt and shame pour out of him like a violent rainstorm. When the first light of dawn finally touched the ancient trees, the shadow flickered and vanished. In its place, on a low branch, sat a single white dove, chirping softly, its wings still. A warmth spread through Elijah's chest, a feeling he hadn't known for years. It was peace, it was forgiveness, it was hope. He returned home, the strange letter still in hand. He laid it on his kitchen table and read the words again. "To find forgiveness. You must first meet the one you fear." Now, it all made sense. The shadow had been him all along. The one he feared most was the man in the mirror. And once he met that man with brutal honesty, he was finally free. Elijah Blackwell began again, called his mother, and started mending what was broken. He rebuilt his life, not on the fragile ground of past successes, but on a new foundation of belief and purpose. He learned that faith isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even in your darkest moments and demanding to see the light. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.